Hey, third grade families, I'm really excited to share this information with you. I'm sure by now you have received the text message from me earlier, just giving you information and a heads up that your child will be starting some spelling practice this week. Today in class, we did a pre-assessment. So I just gave your child a list of words, about 15 words that we'll be focusing on this week. And I just kind of gave them the assessment word by word. I gave it to them in a sentence just to see where they were. So the focus on this week's spelling is short vowels, A and E. And a lot of these words they've learned in first and second grade. But I just figured, because I had noticed a lot of kids struggling, that it might be helpful to focus on spelling more as like just spelling and not combined with all the reading and writing we're doing. So this will be something that will be more of a home focus, but we'll be incorporating elements throughout our school day. So I'm definitely going to need your help at home to make sure your child is doing their work every night. It shouldn't take them any more than 10-15 minutes. And it can replace their 15-20 minutes of reading a night if you have a lot going on. I totally get it that you are all juggling 1,000,010 things, and this time of year, most definitely with everything else going on, is not easy. So I'm just asking that you at least check in with them every night to make sure they did their spelling work. And I will make sure that they understand what they're doing. But if you have the time and you'd like, I'm just going to run through some things that they'll be doing at home with you. So to get started, this page looks like a lot of information, but if you could just focus on the spelling words up at the top here. These are their 15 spelling words for the week. So like I said, today we took the pre-assessment just so I could see where everybody was and to see the growth by the end of the week. So this is our list of spelling words. And it's a pretty, I think they should be able to handle it. Most of them I saw did really well today. So it should be a good week to ease us into our new routine. But if you want to pause the video, you can. This is just a breakdown of what they'll be doing each day. So we started, like I said, by focusing on the pre-assessment, and tomorrow they will be working on at home, making meaning. So today they'll be doing a little bit of work, which I'm going to show you on the next slide. Tomorrow they have some work, Wednesday work, Thursday work, and then they'll come in on Friday and we'll do the post test to see all the practice they've had at home, if they've made any growth, or if they already have totally understood what they're doing, then they'll just knock it out of the park again. Okay, so let's just dive into what they're doing at home in their packet so that you feel good to support them. So this was their spelling homework for tonight. This page is called Crack the Code. I went over every single assignment for the week with the kids today, but I felt like this video was helpful since it is the first week we're doing something like this. So a lot of the other weeks will look very similar, just different words. But this is Crack the Code. So all the kids are doing is looking at these little emojis in the top and matching it to the letters underneath it. So use the code clues to identify the letters for each word. Write the spelling word on the line. So I'll just do like a quick example so you guys get what exactly you're doing. And this is kind of tiny, so I'm just going to zoom it in so you can see it a little better. There we go. So these emojis or smiley faces, whatever we want to call them, match up top here. So if I just look at this first one, I can scan through and I see that that matches a G. So I would just write G. Oh, so much fun writing on a computer. I do not miss teaching on Zoom, that's for sure. So G, and then I would look at this next one. I would scan along, keep going, keep going. Going. Oh, that seems to match that one. R would be my next letter. Look up here. A matches A. So all of these words, if they're having trouble, should connect to their word list that's on the front of their packet. And it's also in the first, the beginning of the video. So if you needed to go back and take a look at that, you can definitely refer just to make sure your child is staying on track and not writing random words. So I'm going to keep going with this first word and just match these emojis so you get the idea of it. So GRA. This next one's a little tilty face. You think I know. N. And this is a frowny D. So this first word here should be grand. And if we go back to the first slide, this is their first spelling word, grand. Okay, so every one of these little emojis should crack the code to spell one of their spelling words this week. Once they have all 12 codes cracked, they'll come down to the bottom here on the page and they just need to reverse it. So before they were matching the emojis with the letters at the top. Now they have the letters. They just have to draw the emoji that goes with it. So if I have F for my the first letter of my word in fed, I would go up to the top, look at the little emoji for fed. Ooh, this should be fun to draw. And I draw this face, or I would like come down, do the best I can. Obviously, I'm on a computer, so it's not totally easy. And draw this face. And I'd keep going for every letter, okay? So E, I would just draw every emoji that matches the code. And then D. And I'd keep going until you do the last 3 words. Frowny face, okay? So that should be Monday night's homework, tonight's homework. This is pretty simple. It's a good assignment to ease us into the week and everything that's to come, but this should not be hard. If your child is spending more than 30 minutes on this a night, they are working way too hard, and please let me know because there's something more I should be doing in class. If they're spending more time than 15, 20 minutes on this, it really shouldn't be a lot. So in red on your child's paper, you will notice that it says the day of the week. So this should say Monday in red, not purple. On your child's paper, they only have to do 1 page a night. So this is Monday's homework. They don't have to keep going. I don't want them to do the whole packet because if they do the whole packet tonight on Monday, they're going to come into school on Friday and they're going to have forgotten everything throughout the week. So I want them to try to practice 1 page every night so they keep up the fluency of understanding and learning the words, because it's not a lot to sit down and do, and they might just want to get it over with, but I really want them to practice it each night. So please stress that at home with them if you could. It would be greatly appreciated. So Monday, done. Tuesday's a little complicated, and I worked on this with them just so that I hoped they'd understand a little more. But Tuesday is like a word search. They only have to choose 10 words from their spelling list of 15 words, and they have to write those 10 words on the lines here. They only need 10, so there's going to be 5 words left over. Don't worry about them. They don't fit there.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Sorry, Siri went off. So they only need to choose 10. And then once they're done, they're going to put those words in the word search. So say, for example, they choose, let me move me over a little bit. They choose the word grand, like we did earlier. Grand. They're just going to find a place in here to write it. So they would write like a G, an R, an A, N, D. Okay, say they chose the word fed, another word on their spelling list. They would put that in here, and they can do diagonal if they want. F, E, D. They would keep going until they have all 10 words filled in here, spread apart, and then all these empty spaces, they would just fill in with random letters so that it makes it a little trickier for whoever's going to solve this word search to find the words that are hidden. So this should be all filled out with letters, and then someone in your family or a friend, whoever you're with in the house, can solve this word search that your child made for them. And they should help you guys solve it so that they're practicing the words as well. But it's just a fun little exercise. If you need any help with this, please reach out. It can be a little tricky, but I'm going to pause the video and fill this out so that you can like see what it should look like when they're done. Okay, so hopefully that will be like a little bit more helpful for you guys to see. Okay, so this is what their word search should look like when it's all filled out with their words. So like I said, they're just picking 10 of their vocabulary words from this week, their spelling words. And then once they have all these words kind of like scattered around on the word search, they can do them backwards, diagonal, sideways, whatever way they want. They're going to fill in all these empty boxes with random letters so that it just makes this a little bit more confusing for whoever's solving it, a little more tricky. And I'm going to do that right now just so you can see what it should like all filled out. So I'm just going to pause the video and then show you what it will look like when they're done, but when I'm done. Okay. Okay. So I used the red so that you could kind of see all the random letters that they need to fill in. And I kept the purple as the original spelling word so that if you are searching for a word search, you can kind of see how they might look in the whole set of word search. But I just wanted you guys to be able to see what this should look like because it can look a little bit like I'm not really sure where to start or how to support my child. But the best thing you can do to help your child start or for them to get started would be to write out. So pick the 10 words first and fill them in on the lines at the top, and then fill in your words in the boxes in the word search, and then just fill all random letters in all around the empty boxes. That's all I did. I just picked random letters in all the empty boxes just to make it a little more tricky for whoever would solve this word search. And your child's word search does not have to look exactly like mine. I just picked 10 random words out of the spelling list that I liked best, and I filled them in, and then I just put random letters wherever. So your child's can look completely different than mine. It does not have to look like this. But we're going to keep going. So this is Tuesday night's homework, not Monday. This homework is for Tuesday, okay? On Wednesday, my goodness. On Wednesday, all they're doing is matching the words in the word bank to the correct definitions or the meaning of that word. So as you can see on this page, there's only 10 words that you'll have to put in the first part that match the definitions given on the page. So they'll take these words here in the bank and they'll read the definitions next to 1 all the way to 10, and they'll write them next to the definition it belongs to. Once they have those 10 words, they should cross them off in the word bank so they know the 5 that they have left. And then they're going to read the sentences at the bottom. So there's 5 sentences at the bottom. They just have to fill in the 5 leftover words into the correct sentence that makes the most sense. So you might need to help your child with the definitions a little bit and just maybe restating the question so that they understand it and it makes a little bit more sense. Sometimes when they read it on the paper, it can be a little choppy and confusing, but if they hear you read it aloud, it might make a little more sense to them since these are new words, but they're not unfamiliar. They should be pretty familiar with these words. So this is Wednesday night's homework. It shouldn't take any more than 10-15 minutes tops to fill in these words, either at the top next to their matching definition or at the bottom next to whichever sentence they belong to. Okay, so they're just writing on the lines. And last but not least, Thursday night's homework is a big one because it really is a test prep for them to get ready for their Friday spelling test. So what they'll do, I did explain this to them, but they might need a little help, or you can even be a practice test administrator. So you can be someone giving them the test, like saying the words for them. But the first thing they'll do if they decide to do this alone would be to take the list and follow the steps. So step 1, look and say. They should one by one read the word in the word bank and say it aloud. So look at the word number 1, grand. They think it in their head and they say grand. They go all the way down the list. They can read it to you or read it to themselves and read 1 to 15. When they're done with that, they're going to move over to step 2, where they will copy each word from this list into the lines next to it. So there's no challenge words 16 and 17. There's just words 1 to 15. So they'll copy those words nice and neatly on the lines next to it under step 2. When they're done with step 2, they're going to cover their words and write. So they will fold on the dotted line. They can fold it under, over, whatever is helpful. They can also put a piece of paper there so they're not looking at the words in the word bank that are typed out. They can look at the words that they wrote, however. So they can try their best to do their best spelling and write it, okay? So I want them to try and fold them. If they're having a hard time folding it and remembering and writing, this could be a good opportunity for someone in the family to take that list. Don't cut it because it will cut out the back side. But you can take that list, or you can take the printed copy I stapled on the front, and you could read it to your child and give them a mini test. So I suggest going that route. I think it might be a good practice for them to hear it from someone at home word by word, and they write it that way. But if they're going to do it independently, they can just fold on the dotted line and practice writing it by saying the word to themselves and then writing it quickly. Try to remember it. Okay. Once they've done all 3 steps, they can just quickly go through, make sure their work is good, or someone at home can make sure their work is good, and just put a little check mark on each line under step 4. This is all they're doing for Thursday night's homework. And like I said, you'll see where it says date at the top. It will say Thursday in red. And once they're done, they'll bring this packet back into me Friday morning, and we'll take our test together. So I just wanted to give a little rundown of our spelling. Every week they'll have a new set of words, but the structure of the packets will look the same, just new words to plug in. But I thought this video was really important just to get us started and having you guys at home feeling good so that you can support your child at home. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the support at home. It really makes everything so much easier in the classroom. I know a lot of friends were not thrilled to have homework, but I really stress that I don't think this is going to be a lot on them. And if they're keeping up with it, it should get easier and easier as the year goes on. But like I said to them in school, if they want to use this as their reading time at night, in the beginning of the year we did log, but if they are doing this and they're doing it well, I'm totally fine if they're using this as a substitute for some nights as they're reading. I do want them to continue reading at least 20 minutes a day because it really does help. But if it's a busy day and you just can't get to the reading, this is more important for me at this time to get done because I'm noticing some friends are really struggling with their spelling. So please reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. I do hope it helps you guys. And like I said, if you have anything you need support with, please reach out and let me know. And thank you again for listening. Have a great night.